My name is Marine Staff Sergeant Liam Dwyer. I was injured in Afghanistan, May of 2011, when I stepped on an IED. I lost my left leg and severely damaged my right leg and my right arm. I decided to serve because my whole family, a lot of my family, has served in the military. What I loved about serving is I just love giving back to my country. And on top of which, it's really like being in a large fraternity. I love being a Marine, I love being in the Marine Corps, and I really love being deployed. And it's something I wish I could still do to this day, but unfortunately I can't anymore. I can remember bits and pieces of the incident. I remember exactly where I stepped. And I can remember the smell of the burning chemicals after the bomb had gone off. I remember seeing the dust particles in the air and looking down and seeing my legs and feet at impossible angles. The next thing I remember is I'm waking up in Bethesda 2 weeks later. My family is beside me and I'm obviously very confused. And I spent 2 weeks in the ICU and then about 3.5 months living in the hospital there. And I was finally discharged, and I spent the next 3.5, almost 4 years at the hospital. I went through over 50 surgeries when I was there, and it was a pretty trying time for me both mentally and physically. Then as I got going with my recovery, I started seeing more and more amputees, guys that got injured before me, and I saw some of the amazing things they were doing. I said, I want to do that right there. So, my life could actually be pretty awesome with this as an amputee. Megan was a therapist at Walter Reed. She was not my therapist. So let's clear the air on that right away.
We started chatting about the Civil War, actually. And he tried to one-up me on the Civil War. What he didn't know is that I had just spent a whole 5 days at the 150th anniversary of Gettysburg. So he started grilling me on facts, and I started answering and then grilling back. And for once, I just put him in his place. And a friendship really started. And I think that's where we were friends for a very long time before we started dating.
I retired from the Marine Corps May of last year, and upon retirement, moved to Florida. We are living with Megan's parents right now in a small 2-bedroom house. They've been very kind to open their doors for us and allow us to stay there while we go through this transition period. Unfortunately, their house is an older house, and it's not designed for guys in wheelchairs. There's a lot of challenges that go on, and I put myself in very precarious positions just to do things.
There's always in the back of your mind the safety, so you don't really stray too far from the home. So just for him to be able to take the dogs out on his own, to be able to come in and out of the house freely, to be able to make yourself breakfast, the simple things.
To get a house that would enable me to just be normal again, where I don't have to have my leg on. And I could reach, the plates, the glasses, or the cereal or food, whatever that's in the cabinets, or I could have just roll underneath counters where I don't have to worry about slamming my wheelchair into it. Being able to do laundry on my own.
I think a new house would just be freedom and independence. I think he's worked so hard to get to where he is through the rehab and recovery process. So I think to be able to have a life and to be just a normal 30-something couple again, the possibilities are endless.
I race cars professionally now. Once I retired from the Marine Corps, I had met executives from Mazda during my recovery at a race, and I started racing on my own, and they saw what I was doing. And I do it without any modifications to a car. I drive a manual transmission operated clutch with a prosthesis. With a damaged right arm and right leg, I've learned how to operate brake, gas, and do all the intricate things you need to do to control a race car. So I started racing for Mazda in 2014.
He has this determination. If there's a challenge, if there's a rough day or a bad day, there's that drive to do better, to be better. Despite it all, we still, at the end of the day, will laugh at something completely ridiculous. And then you just know that this is a person that you're meant to be with.
I feel very lucky. I really do.
We're both lucky.
We are. Home Sergeant Troops is freedom. It's exactly what it is. I think it makes me feel normal again.
We never dreamt that we would ever be in this situation, that this would be possible. So for us, this is a miracle, and we're very, very blessed.
To have Home Sergeant Troops to help us out and to build us a house, to give us that freedom, I think is truly huge and awesome.